Chris Swift is our guest, and he is with Swift Trading Incorporated, based out of Nashville. Of course, like most of America, I'm working from home, away from the office these days, and working remotely. And we thank him for joining us here today. Chris, let's look at this livestock trade here. We'll go to live cattle first. And earlier this morning on the open, we noted that everything was opening limit down across the board. And it is still that way. Now we have everything $3 lower. Let's take a look at the feeder cattle market and see if they opened up limit down as well. They still are down $4.50 everywhere you look. And if you look at the lean hog trade, you know, it used to be the limits were $3. We knew that the CME was going to be adjusting that sometime in the middle of the month. That must have taken place here this morning, the way it looks. So it's down $3.75. I know that was going to be the new limit, so it must now be in effect. The May down $3.75, and from there on out it is. The nearby April is actually up 50 cents at $43.30, but that is kind of, I guess you would say, in a world of its own, is it not?
It is. We've got to converge against a index, which a reading this morning was 49.40, down 3.57. So you still got about $7 yet to change, but you got to tomorrow and the next day still to converge those. And looks like the way, since the futures are not trading dramatically higher, most people think the index is going to drift a little bit lower.
You might explain why they're so far apart to begin with.
You know, a lot of that's interesting. The futures market has a tendency to try to foresee where the prices will be in the future. They foresee them being lower, and I think that's why. And again, this is a very rare instance. I can't find anybody that has ever seen the summer months be trading a negative basis to the index. Historically, we are always significantly higher in the front end of the market, and here we've got June 5 under the index. So a very interesting time frame. And then we note that our processing part of the equation between production, processing, and marketing, our processing is just shrinking. And that tends to be what is the issue right here, is we just don't seem to have enough processing with the amount of product as we have on hand to get it out into the grocery stores right now.
On the cattle side here, Chris, what is really going on with placements right now?
Well, not much. I don't think we're going to have very high placements at all. I've looked at the marketings for both feeder cattle and stocker over the last several weeks. 3 weeks ago, it was literally only a third of what they do year over year. The next week was a little better, and then this last week they did about 2/3. So you are seeing cattle move, but primarily I think what a lot of it you're seeing is probably vertically integrated cattle under contract that were going to move regardless. Then we see the outside markets where we have still a lot of brick and mortar sale barns that are not in business right now. They have closed down because of the virus, and some of the video sales are still taking place, but there's just too many questions out there left unanswered for anybody to go bid real hard for inventory.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to hold the prices up if we have slaughter rates continuing to decline based on plant closing. So it definitely bears watching. Thanks for helping explain all that, Chris. Good to hear from you again. Chris Swift of Swift Trading Incorporated in Nashville. Lots going on, Janet. We'll stay on top of it right here.
All right. As always, thank you, Marlin.